Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another stream. Welcome to, in fact, another episode of Catching Up with the Spruut. It's been a long time, it's been on quite a bit of a hiatus. Shit's been all over the place, but we're working to try to get back things into the schedule, do things consistently, and honestly, I have missed this segment. For those of you who are not aware, this segment was at first it ended up being this political thing, but then I thought I'd make it more of a thing where we just catch up with friends, or more so at the moment, working towards introducing my friends, the people that you see me play online with. You know, who are these people? Maybe get to know a little bit about them, and just kind of get a little nice little introductory on, I suppose, the squad. And honestly, it's just kind of developing from there. You know, it kind of got off a bit too fast with all political things. You know, some people got a bit upset with the things that were said. So I don't want to get on people's nerves or really walk on thin ice just yet. So just taking it easy and see where it goes. Honestly, it's quite experimental in its nature. But for now, let's just catch up with Rojan. Who is Rojan? Who is he? What is he? Why is he here with me right now? Let's get him in. I think he's waiting for me. There he is. Hello,
Hey,
Mr. Rojan. How are you today?
I am good. How are you, Ash?
Thank you very much. Better now. Much better now. Well, thank you for joining me on my stream.
That's good. No worries.
How are you?
Yeah, good. Tired
Let me
of
just
work, busy.
put you up a bit.
But yeah, pretty good still.
That's good. Still alive
Just
during these
chill.
hard
Yeah,
times.
exactly. Just chilling now. Um, really just watching random YouTube videos.
You just finished work.
Yeah. No, I finished earlier. Had some time to eat. Do everything.
Okay. Well, today's a little bit of your lucky day, man. Because today, well, at least for this next hour, it's all about you, my friend. If you ever wanted that moment in your life where, man, you're just like, man, I just want it to be about me. Like, why can't it just be about me? Well, this is your time.
Exactly. Well, I kind of make it about me all the time when the voice anyway, so it's not gonna make a difference.
No, this is specifically about you. This is all
Oh,
about
okay.
you. Like, if you ever wanted to have the chance for, like, you know, in those movies where they'll have like a someone come in to write up their biography and stuff. This is kind of like that moment where you get to just talk about your life, who you are,
Oh yeah.
what
I mean,
you
it
are.
depends really how far I can let you know. Just
Oh
give
yeah,
you
obviously we're not going to go into, like, you know, dirty
just
secrets or anything.
deal.
So, Rojan, I've known you for about for a very long time, man. Since, like, when I think about it, since
I reckon.
early high school,
Oh yeah. I think
almost more than half my life, right?
yeah. I think your fondest memory was. I think the only thing I remember was it all started with the library chess matches at Faulkner High.
Bro, I was actually thinking, like, I couldn't remember the first moment I interacted with you, and like met you, but you actually know yourself
Yeah, no, it was I remember
because I
it
couldn't
was
think of it.
yourself, Alan Chung. Sorry, probably shouldn't have said the name, but Alan,
Yeah,
Chris as well. We were all, I think, I wouldn't really call us nerds by then because you guys were pretty cool kids then. But
nah,
like
man,
it
I'm
was one of
nerds for
the
life.
in the right mind that during that point in time, first place we go to during lunchtime was, you go to the library to play chess. And I
Fuck.
think it
So
wasn't
that's
because of, not necessarily because, like we had nothing better to do. I think I just felt like I had to prove that I was something during hours there. Because no, seriously, like now that I look back to it, that was literally it. It wasn't the fact that I was like I love playing chess. Like I enjoyed it.
mm.
But I think the the most driving moment was the fact that to say to myself like, oh, I can beat that person. I reckon I can beat that person. Or I reckon I can beat that guy. It's always been kind of like it's always been the push.
Like you're somewhat competitive in nature. You're saying,
Yeah, but obviously at the same time,
but you're a good sport though. Like,
there's a lot of fun in losing. Like, it's
because you
that's
actually do enjoy yourself.
yeah,
Like,
you kind
even
of have to.
like even in Dota though, like whether we're winning or losing, like I've noticed with you, Like you just enjoy yourself at the end of the day, regardless of if you win or lose, which is a really good thing to have.
Oh, thanks. No, look, as much as possible, but look, I can't. I definitely can tell you for like a few times where I've actually gone. You know what? I'm kind of over this game. I'm done. Like as in,
Oh yeah,
it's
of
just
course,
kind of everything kind of thrown out the window. However nice I was, it's just like that game takes it out of me.
of course.
That's
I
the power of
mean,
Dota.
yeah, we'll have our breaking points, but your threshold is a lot higher than most of ours.
Thanks, man. That's good to hear.
Well, I
Um,
didn't. Well, because I'm pretty sure I didn't play because I remember I don't think I played. I think I was more of a spectator. I think you played with Alan and
yeah,
Chris
Alan most of
Small.
the time. Yeah, there's quite a few. I remember we even had those. What was it? I think there was like a chess competition as well at one point.
Yeah, there would have been.
Faulkner. Um, I remember getting fourth, like not because I didn't do well. Sorry,
Hmm.
this is me bragging at the moment, but not because I didn't do well, but because during the time that I was that it was happening, I remember I didn't go to school for the last 2 or 3 days. I couldn't remember why, for the love of God, but it was just that was another reason why they just wait. You know what? Let's just put him as fourth. And then I remember, I think until I moved to my new place, um 2018 or 27, I'm pretty sure I still had that, like it was just a wooden block that says chess,
Ah,
fourth place
an
for
actual
Faulkner.
trophy.
Yeah, yeah, it was
Man, if
it
anything,
was funny,
if anything, it'd just be like a nostalgia a
but
piece.
that's what it
You know
really
what I
is.
mean? Like when you look at it, you just get transferred back to early high school.
No, that's it. Like, I think you probably have that with a lot of your stuff. Like, when you have something, right? Like, it's gonna be something so useless, but you still have it. Like, you still keep it there. There's no
Yeah,
reason why.
it's just got
It just stays
sentimental
there.
value
Yeah,
more than anything, I think.
like quite a few things. I think now because obviously since I have been with Liz, which is you know most of my life.
Hmm.
After that, everything was just a blur. A lot of things, like, because she does put in a lot of effort in a lot of different things, and so
Okay,
when, like, when you receive something, like when she makes you something specific, it's like that's actually, it's like nice, and then you have this,
it's got
regardless of
feelings
how
and
useful,
emotions
yeah,
attached to it.
exactly, it's like,
Yeah.
regardless how much you feel about it, it's like, it's there, and it's like, even if you don't see it every day, and you kind of go, for example, mine, some of the things right now, because last time, I think, when we have it clean, some of the stuff that should give me is probably in a box right at the moment. But like, if someone was to go and be like, "Hey, what's this for? Can we throw it out?"
You'd
You're
be
gonna
like,
give them the middle finger. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even a question of, like, it's
yeah,
not going anywhere. That's it. That's me. That's part of me. So
yeah.
it's just like, it's just always kind of funny, even like, especially like little things that we probably have. And I'm sure you have these things too. I mean, I don't know, but
Yeah, of course, bro.
we all
Everyone
have
has
shit.
these things, like an object that has some kind of sentimental value
Yeah,
that takes
that's
into a
really it.
time and place, that has something significant to them. Like it means something significant to them.
Yeah.
Of
I mean, look,
course.
I'm not gonna say there's always some of it. There's gonna be items where it might bring you bad memories as well.
Oh yeah.
Um, it's not bad to have them. It's not bad to keep them or anything like that. It's
I
just,
don't think it's a good idea to get too attached to
yeah, no, I
material
agree.
objects,
Yeah,
but like it's a balance. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, no, I agree. I think in a sense of, you don't. I guess the difference between, for example, if I was to attach to my phone, or as I was attached to a specific object in my house that, like I said, have absolutely no use other than to be, like, to be seen, like, to look at it.
Yeah,
Like, in that sense, like, I keep those stuff specifically because it brings back a bit more, like you said, nostalgia about it.
yeah.
That it's kind of
But
hard to forget.
yeah, we've kind of gone a bit off topic though. We're automatically delving into the philosophical stuff. That's
Isn't this the talk of, like,
it's
every single time we
it's
jump
just
into the
yeah,
Discord?
exactly. But it's about you, bro. We're gonna have to try stay the course. This is about you. But
Okay,
let's
go
go
on.
to day one, bro. So you're born in the Philippines. You're Filipino.
Was I?
Were you? I'm pretty sure you were.
Well, it's questionable.
I mean, that's
Well,
that's
yeah,
what I
yeah,
remember from you telling me.
I was, I
Do you
was, I was
wanna
born.
start from there and then work your way
Yeah.
up to how we met in high school?
All right. Let's see. Well, I was born in the Philippines,
Mm-hmm.
born and raised in
Mm-hmm.
the playground. No, I'm trying to do the, the
And
Prince
on
of
the
Bel Air theme
streets,
song.
Yeah.
No, no, yeah, Philippines, kind of. That's where I was born, really. Uh, I'd like to think that I'm born like, pretty well off with my family. I've kind of never you know, had to like suffer like other people in the Philippines.
Yeah, because I think there's a big disparity between the classes
Yeah,
there, right?
poverty wise in the
But
Philippines
that's not just the
is
Philippines though.
humongous.
That's most of like the world is like that, unless you're in Australia or America or something. Or even America, man. Anyways, we're gonna go into that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah,
you're pretty well off in the Philippines. You came from a good
yeah,
family.
yeah. Well, a family, I was able to really kind of have to not worry about a lot of things. I just kind of had to make sure I go to school, do my thing, you know,
Yeah.
learn some piano lessons, but um, all that stuff. It was good. It was great. I think it was. It started when my mom used to start taking me to uh, what's the word, to fast food restaurants. So fast food restaurants are considered like it's almost like a really nice restaurant if you compare it to Australia, for example.
Okay.
Like it's kind of like something luxurious because you can blow money into it, and during those times a lot of people are like kind of outside sitting, obviously people that's like really kind of poor children just sitting there trying to get money. And
Hmm.
obviously me as a young kid like have absolutely no idea like what the heck are they doing? Why don't they just come in? It's like literally there's a door, it's open. We can come in.
Oh,
Why aren't they coming in?
so
No,
naive.
but seriously, that was the thinking, right? I was like young as 2 or 3 years old. That was the thinking, like just come in, let's go eat, yalla, and then look it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but like I said, it's like it comes down to the fact that because I was kind of raised kind of in again in a well off, I didn't have to kind of worry about what's the next time I'm gonna eat kind of thing.
Right.
Worry about that. But anyway, fast forward a tiny bit. My mom realized that it's not very really good to kind of have just kind of raise the kid in the Philippines just because you know the education is good, but then money wise, it's still kind of
The
to kind of live the
opportunities.
life. Yeah, it's not as much
That's
compared to obviously somewhere else.
honestly, there's a very like that. What you said there basically echoes throughout a lot of people that came to Australia from all different parts of the world. It's like basically you summed it up. Better opportunities, better lifestyle, better living. So, I mean, what you're saying isn't like, whoa, what? Is that why you came here? Like,
Yeah,
even my family, like a majority of Turks, majority of Europeans, Italians, Greeks, whoever, from all over the world, they generally migrate to Australia or America for these better opportunities. So it's very common. It's a very common thing.
yeah, no, exactly right. Like, I mean, you don't kind of, a lot of people obviously, like you said, come here because they have better opportunities, and the same exact thing with my parents. Um, for like my mom was lucky enough; she was considered like a what's the word, um, like a skilled migrant, and so we were fast tracked and all that stuff, and
Okay.
we got here pretty quickly. Like she applied, I think, when I was, let's say, I think 13 or 12, 12 or 13.
When she was
Um,
13 or 12.
No, when I was
Oh, when you were
12,
13,
she
12, yeah.
started applying to
Sorry,
to
yeah.
migrate over here. And I remember she was choosing between Canada, I think. Oh, was it Canada? Oh, no, yeah, Canada and Australia.
Hmm.
And
Canada would have been up there as well, yeah. I know Canada's pretty sweet. I'm not
yeah,
sure if it still is sweet.
yeah, no, but I think we just got blatantly refused by Canada.
Oh,
I think we were
really?
like, yeah. Oh, I don't know. I couldn't remember, but mom, I think when that came around, when I turned 14, mom was just straight up, "Yep, we're gonna do this. We're gonna go to the embassy, Philippine embassy, get some of this, get some of that." Within I think the next 5 or 6 months, I was here. I was in Faulkner. Like it took over. Like as in everything just changed. Like life wise,
Yeah.
I was in considered there.
So
Let's
how
say
old were
maybe
you?
about year 9 or so in the
You
Philippines, which is yeah like
Nah,
second year, third
man.
year high school.
Nah, I didn't see. I met you like year seven, year eight, year seven, early high school in Faulkner.
Nah, nah, year 9 definitely like midway. Oh no, early year 9
Nah,
definitely
man,
because
no way. Because year nine, 10 would have been at Coburg. I would have been at Coburg, and I remember meeting you at Faulkner first, like early,
yeah,
early
yeah,
in
mid
Faulkner.
mid year of 2014.
So it would have
Oh
been
no,
year
no,
seven or eight, like year eight max. Because year nine, 10, we were in Coburg, and that was like lately. You know what I
Nah,
mean?
no, no, no. We were in year 10 at Coburg because year 9 they didn't have year 9 at Coburg. Remember?
I don't know. It seems too early, man. I feel like I mean too late. Sorry. Like I feel like I would have seen you, I met you like way earlier, but not like seeing you earlier, but actually develop the
Yeah,
relationship like a year or 2 years later. You know what I mean? Because I remember, like when I met you, when I saw you, it was just like, oh yeah, he's that kid. He's got a bit of a weird accent. Um,
yeah. I had a
hey bro,
pretty
and
distinct
that's it.
accent then.
Yeah, yeah, you know what I mean? Because like you stood out because you just came from the overseas,
Yeah,
and so I think it started to develop much later. So I would say you came around year 7, year 8.
yeah. I reckon probably probably about around there. So
Yeah, hey, welcome to the stream.
but yeah, I remember
Oh wait,
that
buddy,
when I got
I
there,
love you.
because
Kieran, welcome, Kieran.
technically I am above, like one of the above year, and it's kind of in the Philippines you only have like 4 years of high school.
Hmm.
So you have, for example, grade one, grade two, grade three, and then up to grade six, and then grade six, then you can become first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and then you like they ship yes, they ship your butt to like university or college. Then so you get a bunch of 16 and 17-year-old as as college students already. So when I got the Faulkner, I felt like a genius because everything that was being taught was like I learned it already, right?
Hmm.
Um, but then because I felt like that, I kind of overcompensated. I kept thinking, oh yeah, I'm so good at this. I don't have to study. I don't have to worry about that. When we got to Coburg, that's when everything just started. Reality just slapped you in the face. You're like, yep, you don't know anything. Like you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. You're an ESL kid. You have to learn from the very start. Everything that you think you don't. So
Yeah.
go and help learn it. And so like, I think that was like year 12 when it finished. That was the biggest slap to me. And this because I guess we've been having a chat and how a few of the games kind of took over our lives at one point as well.
Which
um,
games?
I don't know. Depends. I don't really want to say. Is that considered like product placement if I
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that?
don't worry about it. No, I'm just thinking though. Like, at which point did we start to like hang out and do stuff? Because I remember I used to hang out with Chris and Alan. Like, that was my
Yeah,
gang. Because I knew them from Moomba, like from primary school, and
yeah.
then we moved on to high school, and you had your own crowd. I think it was in
Oh,
Coburg.
I only had Frank. That was my crowd.
Yeah,
It
because you were,
was
because at the start you were like the loner kind of, not like loner, but like the overseas student. You know what I mean? And the
yeah,
overseas
exactly.
student is usually has a hard time fitting into the crowd, and usually is a bit isolated at the start.
Yeah. No, it did feel like that. I think I remember the first two people that I met, especially like in the principal's office was um I think it was
Was this the phone thing?
sorry,
Yeah. Was this the phone thing?
which one?
When your phone got stolen and then
Oh
we
no,
ended up
that's
finding out who it
before that,
was and it was just really
way
awkward?
before that. I think it
Wow,
was
we had I think that was
that
it,
was
bro. I
crazy
think
too.
that's what I'm just trying to like, because I can't think of the things that brought us together. And
Yeah,
I
but
think
look,
I think
that's
it
the
was
worst
just like
part,
a
right?
series of mini events, like mini adventures, mini dramas that happened in high school that just developed over time, I think, or something. I don't know. Like I'm trying to pinpoint
Because
something, but I can't.
if you think about it, technically, right, I kind of knew you before Adam.
Of course, bro.
But that's something I
100%. I
always
know. I
I
knew you
think the
way before
biggest
Adam.
memory that I had is always like for some reason Adam is always there. Like I don't know why, but like regardless who I met, I'm thinking, oh, Omar, oh yeah, I met Adam.
Now
And then
Adam's a
now even
whole.
now I'm thinking Ashkin with you, I'm like,
No, dude,
you know Adam? Like
Adam's a whole other chapter. Like later
yeah,
on, like you're in like
exactly.
origin story. You know what I mean? Like you,
Exactly right.
but like you're the character though that like you kind of see in the scenes. He doesn't say much, but he's actually got a big impact. And later on, he ends up developing. You know what I mean? Like as a core character. That's who you were.
Oh, thanks, man. I think it look. I guess it really depends though, because at the end, really, the people you kind of choose to be with you, like, kind of lets you know who you are as well. Like,
Of
you
course.
can't. You know what I mean? You if I start hanging out with a bunch of people that does something that I personally don't like, or it's the same thing as in influencing you guys, or kind of trying to have an argument or a debate about something. Like, you
Mm.
don't do it because you kind of like, oh, like you don't do it because you know that you're gonna have an argument, but you do it because like you want to upskill each other. Do you know what I mean? Like it's someone that you care about. So if they are get into a position where they can make a difference,
Mm.
you can make a difference. They'll do it. And that's kind of me. I guess as a person, it's like that's how I've always kind of been. Like it's
I think yes. I think that's when it started to, like, once we got to know each other better. I think that's when like things started to develop closer. If you know what I mean,
Yeah.
if that makes
See,
sense.
I'm trying to remember exactly what point and on what exact point did we share something? Is that's what I'm thinking. Like,
That's what I'm
because
trying. Yeah,
that's
that's what I'm trying
literally
to pinpoint as well. I think it started to blossom after Faulkner. I think
yeah, it
Faulkner,
must have
you were
been
just like
Coburg.
side character in my life, anyways.
Yeah.
And then Coburg happened. So for people that are watching, so for high school, me and Rojan, we had two stages of high school. So it was early high school and then late high school. So from year 7 to 10, and then from 10 to 12, we went to entirely different high school, which was just from year 10 to year 12.
Yeah.
And that's where we met Adam. And then from Adam, it branched off into all these other boys.
Yeah. That's
And
pretty
that's
much.
and I think in high school in Coburg, the year 10 to 12 is when we got closer because that's when we knew each other from Faulkner. You know what I mean? So we knew
Yeah.
we knew each other from Faulkner heading into new territory, into new
Yeah.
people. So we had that, like, okay, we're homies from the past, so we've got to stick together in this
Yeah.
new land. This new territory. And
That's
then
it.
I think that's
Yeah.
how it kind of, and then we just kind of stuck to one another in that sense. You know what I mean? Because it was
Yeah.
us, and then there was a whole other new crowd that we didn't know,
That's it.
as opposed to
I remember
when
there was a
before we
whole
knew everyone.
we were like the Faulkner boys. So there was a whole group of us that were
Exactly,
in there and just
exactly. We were the
made it
Faulkner
a
boys.
thing. Just not necessarily because like we liked each other. It was more about the fact that it slowly became like that because we were kind of a whole. It was a kind of a pack that you guys came into
Of
this
course,
group
man.
of
That's high
people.
school, bro. I mean, I don't know about how other high schools were, but in at least for us, where there's a lot of ethnicities and a lot of minorities, was basically dog eat dog world. You had to. It was like jail, man. You had to find a gang where they walk. You want to, or else you
Yeah,
were gonna get eaten. Yeah, you had to find. Yeah,
in a good terms of saying it, yeah, you had to find a crowd, not
you had to
necessarily.
find. You had to find the group, man. You had to find the gang, or else
Yeah.
you were a goner. I mean, if you could
Yeah.
survive on your own, then that's awesome. But if not, you were gonna do it hard.
The only thing, actually, I don't know if it's true. I feel like the peak of when we started hanging out was when it's either I come to you come because you're pretty close to Adam's house in the past, and you come over at Adam's house to play Far Cry 2. I'm not sure if you recall,
Yeah, I do. I
and
do
then
remember that. I do remember
yeah,
that.
and then I will come in and then say hi to you. Like I honestly feel like that was the peak. It's like as much as I hate to say it,
Nah,
this
Peak was at your house when we used to hang out at your house. That was
yeah, well,
Coburg,
that's
though, right?
right. That's what I'm saying. So it started to Adam's house, and then we then go, oh, come over my house. And that very first time you guys came over, oh man, that was funny because we stayed up late and we were at the back of the back end of the house, and we were looking for
Yeah,
snacks.
that was another good time because we all lived in Faulkner. Like, I lived
Yeah.
in Faulkner, Adam lived in Faulkner, you lived in Faulkner, Amara lived in Faulkner. A lot of people were very nearby. Like, we'd all lived in the same suburb, so it was just walking distance. You know what I mean? Like, it would be after school. I don't know, maybe Friday night or something. I think we'd message you on like MSN, maybe, I don't know, like whatever was the thing back then.
Oh, bro, yeah, that
And they're
was
like,
the
"Hey,
thing.
bro, what
Yeah.
are you doing?" And like, "Hey, man, come over." And then the whole gaming thing started there as well. I think that was also another thing that kind of developed the bond between us. I think Dota actually
Yeah.
was that.
No,
Those
Hon
no, yeah,
first.
Heroes of New, yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Heroes of
Hon, yeah,
New
Hon
Earth,
first. Yeah.
exactly. And then we started playing games together, and I think it just kind of grew there as well a little bit.
No, that's really it. I think because like I said, it's very much hard sometimes to remember the point in time where you started hanging out in some cases, but what actually would remind you of it is that specific thing. For in this instance, like seriously, all I can remember
But we've got
was
so many
playing
specific things.
Hon.
That's why it's so hard to pinpoint something,
Yeah,
bro. Like, so many
and so
specific little things.
no, I agree, and it's at some point I think you kind of try and find that specific thing, but then you go, well, which one? Like, which one do you go for? Like,
Yeah, like we could spend days talking about, like, from when I first met you to today, because there's so many little details. But basically, it's you came from the Philippines, early high school in Faulkner. You were a bit unknown, and then from there went to Coburg, and then from Coburg, and then after year 12, onwards, and then at that point we're friends.
Yeah. No, look, year 10, honestly, it feels so long, but year 10, between the period of year 10 to year 12, that feels like eons. Like we're talking about.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, look, not just now. I'm saying that from looking back now, but during that time, it felt like so many things happened during that period of time that you
Mm,
know you can't believe that that was only in a period of what 2 or 3 years. Like a
yeah,
lot of things developed from there. Like I mean, like from you guys to Adam to absolutely every other guy that like I've honestly met from the whole group. It's like that branched from that from that
yeah.
period,
All,
right
all
through your period.
all the boys today would have been a result of high school and just connections. Like, oh, he's a friend of his friend is his friend, my friend, your friend. You know what I mean? It's just this big circle of friends that
Yeah.
merged. And I guess the shit ones just got weeded out naturally somehow because I don't. You
The shit ones.
know what I mean? Like the
The
sincere ones from
undesirables.
the not sincere ones just got weeded out naturally. Because I mean, if we were anything like we were back in the day, we just we would have just put would have noticed it. You know what I mean? Like you
Mm,
wouldn't have been able to survive
yeah.
in our group because we would have just known, all right, you're a shit camper, get out of here. Like
Yeah, that's it.
you don't belong here.
Nah, see, I think that was like one of the main things as well was a few things that we used to do was like it was sometimes it was all this like silly shit like like you'll come
Oh,
over.
bro, the silly shit was like
Oh,
90% of the relationship. Are you kidding me? Like, bro, let's just start off with your name for beginners. Your name for beginners. Your name, your many names, I should say. Your infinite names
oh,
is enough to write a book about just on your
I
name.
know.
Let's begin, bro. So your name's Rojan. So
Yep.
this became Blowjan, and that
Yep.
evolved to Blowjan Manalis. Hojan, I just made that up now. Dojan, a road dog. My favorite, Feloshan. And then you got Blowjanus Manelips, Rojobaru, Roshan. Like, it just keeps going, bro. Like,
Oh, you missed one. There was
which
my
one?
my alter ego of a female, Rojana.
Rojana, there's Rojana. It's just every variation of your name,
Yep.
but an insult towards you. And like a champion, you didn't take it personally, bro. Like,
You can't imagine doing so though.
like yeah, like blow lips, like everything just
Uh,
related to blowjobs and your lips because you have
but see,
very nice lips.
they've combined it at one point. It was Blurgeon Manalips. Think about that. Like you have completed my entire name.
You just like
It's like
you're
you
just
renamed my entire
desecrating.
kids almost. Like with that alone,
You're
it's just.
desecrating this guy's entire name from year seven. But that's how we were back then, though. You know what I mean? They'd
Yeah,
find
no, that's
something.
it.
They'd find either anything. It could be your name. It could be your hair. It could be your nose. Your physical.
Your
Anything, bro.
lips.
And
Yeah.
they'd exploit it. They'd exploit the absolute shit out of it, and that was your identity. You
Oh, but
know,
that's it. But I think at the end of the day, you kind of looked at it as,
it was
you know,
savage.
yeah, well, it's savage, but at the same time, as bad as it sounds, that's how kind of most of the guys kind of show love, Like at the
Yeah,
end of the
it's
day,
tough love.
if someone was not talking shit about you and going, "Hey, how are ya? Yeah, that's good to hear. Yeah, something's wrong with you guys. You need to talk. Like you legit need to sit down and have a chat because
No.
one of you guys offended someone and just nah."
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. If someone stopped, if someone was talking to me normally and then out of nowhere, like absolutely out of nowhere, just started talking normally to me,
Parashan.
not insulting me, not calling me names, I go, okay, nah, there's something's wrong. We have to talk about it. I'm not used to it. I can't handle it.
Yeah. But you copped it though, but you took it like a champion though. Like I don't know, man, if I would have been able to handle it. Like my name copped it too because they used to say Askin. You know that.
I
Like
used to say that.
I used to say that too. Like your own friends with this doggy. You know what I mean? I used to cop
It's true.
Askin a lot, like skin of your ass. Used to shit me. So they used to get on my nerves though. You know what I mean? But with you, it was just like they'd go through a whole plethora of all these different kind of variations of your name that all inside like fellatio and like your
Oh
lips
god.
and you being a
Feloshan. No,
dog.
no, not Feloshan. Feloshan.
No,
That
it was
was.
so all the variations are a combination of blowjobbing, being a dog, and your lips.
Yep.
These three key elements, throw that into a soup and you come up with a name, and that was it.
Oh god. Just saying, I think Feloshan's trademarked by Abdul, so we can't really say we can't start
Feloshan,
giving
that's
royalties in that one.
but Feloshan has a different special place in my heart. It's just so rich and creative.
I know. Oh god, he still calls me that, by the way. He hasn't started. Like every time, hey Feloshan. Now I'm like, oh fuck. And you know, it becomes normal now. Like you don't realize it until you go. Someone else goes, "What did he just call you?"
Oh yeah, someone from the outside would have been like, what?
Yeah.
What the
No.
hell? Like, are you guys friends? But no,
No, but
it's
I say
just
it's great. Like it's honestly it's as bad as that sounds. It's great to know that obviously, like people kind of remembers you in some specific way or shape or form.
yeah,
Not necessarily in a good way or a bad way, but as in they take the time enough to actually think about a good nickname for you.
yeah, yeah. Those are good times, man.
It's
Those
still
are
are
good
good times.
times. Like early high school, it was rough, but I feel like that roughness also kind of gave us that extra layer of skin. If you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like that resilience. Because nowadays, I don't think you get that anymore. I'm not sure. Like I haven't been to high school, obviously, in the current year. I'm not sure what it's
yeah.
like now, but I think it's more or less the same. I want to say
Look, I'd like to think so as well. I think
it's
my
probably
brother
a
right now
lot.
is in like I think he's year 12 now as well, and I feel bad for them just because obviously this is the kind of the obviously he hates it because he studied like he
Oh,
studies
bro,
like crazy.
who liked high
Um,
school? Please, high school was the
but that's the
worst
thing
time of our
though.
lives.
You actually look back to it. Every time I look back to it, I go, look, yes, it's there was a lot of studying, a lot of this, a lot of that, but I mean, I gotta admit, I actually had quite a lot of fun when we were in
Yeah,
high school. Like it was,
true.
I see everyone every day at the same time. We can have lunch, literally. Like we can do a lot of things during the day,
Yeah, I know
and
what
then
you mean.
hang out after nights. Like you don't have to think much.
I
Like
guess there was like a sense of community, like
yeah,
immediate community, even though it
that's
was
exactly right.
small school, and you don't get that anymore after school. You don't get it anymore unless you get corporate life work community, but that's not the same.
Yeah, exactly. Those are like people you make after you've kind of, you've actually like you. I'd like to say your brain's fully developed in a way.
Yeah,
Like I guess in high school, the people that you're stupid with are still the people that I'm stupid with now. Do you know what I mean? Like it's,
yeah,
they've accepted me when I was dumb as hell, and now that I'm in a point in my life where I can think better, like we're all at that point and they still accept you. You know what I mean? Like regardless of where you were then and regardless where you are now, you're still the
yeah.
same blowjob, road job, ass kid. Like anyway, it's still the exact same person. Like I'd like to think that way anyway. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, like every time I kind of like it's always you don't really think about um not necessarily bad memories in high school, but during that time, you just feel that pressure of, school coming into
Yeah,
you, and
man.
then
That's
absolutely every teacher telling you that if you don't do well in high school, you're gonna get, penalized for life, kind of thing. And
man. Yeah,
like,
man. If I have a kid, that's the first thing I'm gonna tell him or her. I'm gonna say, look, just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. You know
that's
what I
it.
mean? It's not the end of the world. Just enjoy it while you can. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy the crowd. Enjoy that air that you breathe in, because it's not gonna come again. Because I look back, bro. I'm like, I wish I could go back, but with my current state of mind and intelligence, I'd be such a boss, man. Like
Nah,
zero fucks. Don't give anything. I'd be like witty as hell. I'd be one step ahead of everyone. You know what I mean? Like you'd be killing it. Because in
yeah,
high school, you're so insecure. You're so fragile. You're so like, oh, who am
yeah,
I? What am I doing? Oh, what's going on? Like, oh,
yeah.
what do you say? Oh, he's crying about everything.
No, that's it. Well, look
Exactly.
again.
New game plus, but in real life. Like you come back, new save, but you've got the stats from the previous. You know what I mean? Exactly.
uh, it's not a bad. Imagine doing having a game like that. Actually, it's not a bad idea. Imagine that actually. Just saying.
But yeah, no, that's yeah, man. Like we have you and me, we have a lot of history, and that the thing is because we knew so many boys. Those boys kind of split up into like mini groups of boys. So like
Yeah,
one day I'll
we
be
know the
hanging
story
with
about that.
you, and one day another day I'll be hanging out with Chris. Another day I'll be hanging out with Adam, and generally people have different interests in doing different things. Like you're also very much into basketball, or
Yeah,
at least
love basketball.
so you're a big basketball fanatic. I remember
Still
you'd be
is.
in the courts, throwing hoops and shit.
Yeah.
That's a big part of who you are.
That's I think that in itself is everything. If I had a choice between that or games, I reckon I would choose basketball. But again, that seriously just that started first and foremost. I think even when I was in high school, like, even in the Philippines, it's always just come down to I reckon I can beat that guy. I reckon I can beat that guy. I reckon I can beat that guy.
Yeah,
Without like
I
the
don't,
passion kind of grew from that, not necessarily you know something else, but because it was a competitive nature where like with everything that you do, kind of like I got to keep trying until I get to a point where I can do something good about this kind of thing.
hmm.
And and the thing is, again, I think over time, not necessarily because of the competitive nature, but because you kept kind of doing something, and you kept wanting trying to do something, it drove you to a place where you realize, oh, I should actually like doing this. Like, oh, I love doing this, or I like playing this. Like that's where it kind of started for me,
Hmm.
basketball anyway. And then from there, it just everything just kind of became about basketball, like my shoes, like point of conversation, point to
Yeah,
talk
like
to someone, like.
the way you dress as well, like you always got like this basketball shorts and stuff.
Yeah, that's it. Like it's in high school, that was the best thing. Like I could not even worry about a thing that I was wearing. Like that was the perks of being in that high school.
Yeah,
Other high
so
schools.
yeah, the high school we went to was meant to be like the late high school was meant to be one of those like new and advanced, super cool. Like
Yeah, that's right.
we're trying to be like a university, but not really. Where you can come in casual clothes and the classrooms are open, like there aren't any rooms. You got like
That's it.
MacBooks, like just chilling. You got laptops you can just pick up, and start using them. Like it was actually really cool. Like I'm not shitting on it. Like it was exciting times. Like it
Oh,
was
it's
it was
great.
next level. Like for us, it was
Yeah.
next level. I don't know if that was like mandatory back then, but for us, it was like they were trying to go with the whole university thing, which was nice because it kind of gets you prepared, I suppose. Like we'd have like a little lounge area, and there'd be a TV on the wall. You just see people kick it back on their laptops or watching TV. I think some
Oh, we
people
took that
manage
for
to.
granted, dude.
Yeah, oh,
Like
yeah,
that
of
was
course we abuse the shit
crazy.
out of everything. Like
Yeah.
I think some people even like brought in their like PlayStations and stuff and just casually playing
Oh, dude.
PlayStation. Like, can you
Like
can
the
you
guys.
imagine that, dude? Like, you're playing PlayStation at
Yeah,
school. Like, mind
I know.
blown. Finished. Like, what?
Like you have a TV, bean bags with lounges. You have
Yeah.
place where literally, in the day, yeah, everyone's gonna be using it to study, but then during break time, there's there's a game that everyone's absolutely playing in all what do you call it, in like in groups in multiplayer, in local multiplayer.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called.
Oh yeah, with the thing, the Halo sessions we had and stuff.
Yeah, well there you go. That's Halo, and then there's another one, another game that we all just started playing. It was great. It was there, It wasn't
Yeah, I
it
even
wasn't
remember
restricted.
we were playing, and then I think was it Chris was trolling and he kept pulling out the plug of your
Oh no
monitor,
no no, that was Nash. That was so funny.
and then you
So
lost his shit. And then
no no
no, it was
yeah.
Chris.
So
I'm pretty sure it was Chris. It was like he was trolling you while you were playing the game, like he'd get from underneath and pull out the power or something.
oh, was it
And
me?
yeah, it was you in between a game, and then
Oh, is that with Miss
you lost it.
with that teacher? I forgot her name. Ah, I'm thinking there's two moments where I was like, oh, I was trying to do something, and I think it was Chris or it was James. Because Chris and James was really close during that time. I remember.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it was James was trying to keep pulling the plug, and I'm getting pissed off. So I stood up, and then Chris was like, "Relax," like relax. Stood up for James, and I wasn't gonna stand up
Oh
because
yeah,
obviously I was
yeah.
like a kid, I
That
wasn't
was
gonna
that
do, I
was
wasn't
that.
gonna try anything. And I
Yeah.
remember Missy pulled me on the side. Rojan, get in here now. And I thought I was gonna get in trouble. And for some reason, she was under the impression that I was getting bullied by James and Chris. But in reality, I was good friends with James and Chris. And I remember all she said to me was like, "Next time, don't stand for anything, all right?"
Oh, what a boss teacher.
Yeah, and I'm just like, no, I tried to reason out to her, to tell her like, like we're good friends. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, no, but that doesn't give them the right to bully you like that. I'm like, thank you. So I came out there. James and Chris thought I got in trouble. I'm like, yeah, I did. But then Mrs. was like, no, like I was all in the clear. Just legit tell me in the future, said, make sure that you don't take shit from anybody, really,
Yeah.
in a good way of saying it.
The
Um,
one thing I will say though, bro, in high school you were very you had this facade that you were this kind of international kind of like how you said like the teacher was telling you like was on your side and everything.
yeah,
You had this facade where you were like that international student that was kind of like bullied, a little bit misunderstood, would get picked on, but in reality You were actually the shiftiest, most cunning person in the school. Like, you look like you were dumb, like you were being exploited, but you were actually incredibly shifty, and you have to agree to this.
Yeah, I do. Like, again, I'm not like I hate the fact that because I sound like a narcissist at the moment. But do you remember Wiz Study Wiz?
Oh yeah, so
Oh god,
there
that
was
was
like
so
a
funny.
so we had this online application where we could like submit homework and stuff. And this was back in like you're probably like, oh yeah, whatever, but this was back in like 2008.
Yeah, 8 or 9 roughly. Like
We had this system where you could go online and submit your homework like you would at uni. Like you could log into an account and you could do it that way. And there were other and you could get resources and other things as well. Anyways, yeah, you were saying.
yeah, like well,
Did you
I remember. I think at the very end, when it comes to because that thing always went down, right?
mm.
And I remember uh, Will the teacher, the IT guy there, um, every time he asks me about it and goes, oh, StudyWiz is down. Have you tried doing it like this, doing like that? I'm like, yeah, I have. Blah blah blah. And then so what he did, I remember, he went out. I think grabbed some coffee, or I can't remember, grabbed some water.
I think I
And
remember.
I was still in his office, and I remember during that time there was a whole list of admin passwords.
Oh
So it had
no.
his one, and then he had I forgot the math teacher's name one. Um,
Anyway,
there's another one.
don't worry about the names.
Yeah, yeah. But I remember during that time, because we had a limit on our internet. Remember? And the only
Uh
way to get past it was if you used a teacher's internet, and you get unlimited. And so
yes.
I remember, but I think by the third or fourth day, study was kept crashing down. It was kept crashing down. It was because I kept using up the internet of the teacher. Every time someone logged in, it would just log him out because saying StudyWiz has used up all the data and all this, or or StudyWiz is down.
Hmm.
And I think at the very end, or the math teacher actually, I don't think she got in trouble, but she told everyone, or I think it was a Donna, or it was one of the teachers got a meeting with everyone in the school just to say that or we know that some of you guys have been using teachers' credentials on your internet password, and so just so you know, we've accumulated 400 gigabytes worth of downloads. And that we're gonna make sure
Oof.
next time that whoever does this, we're gonna make sure that they get penalized. And it was because of we used to have something called hotspot and uTorrent, and people
Oh
could
yeah,
go
of course
past
they would.
absolutely everything. And I remember, I was again being trying to be the cool kid. I need to make sure that I share that to everyone. I hope so everyone that had a laptop that brings it to school
Yeah,
could use that.
if there was an exploit, you would exploit it, 100%. But you wouldn't just keep it to yourself. You'd share it. Like sharing is
Yeah,
caring.
of course. If you get in trouble, you can't obviously keep it to yourself. Nah, obviously, like it's a double-edged sword.
Mm.
Um, obviously, if you just do it yourself, you get a lot more, and then you probably less people that's gonna get in trouble. But that means that if you do get in trouble, you're base off. Um, anyway, sorry, going back to study whiz, that was one of the best things to do because I remember I used to make an excuse about that. I used to just save documents as .bat file.
So they couldn't
So
open it.
well, so when they try to open it, it just opens command prompt, and it just says,
See, exactly. Very clever, very cunning, and very shifty.
uh, no, because I got away with this with I think a few teachers got away with it. Just telling them that it wasn't working, so I have to give it to you next week. But
So,
that next
like
week, then I have enough time to do the actual work, and
casually
then I
just
go, here you go.
get an extension.
Exactly. You don't. And to be honest, I did it at uni too. Not proud of it, but I did it as well. Um,
Nah, man, that's actually a sign of intelligence. Like if you can, I think was that saying where it's like if you can find a shortcut to something or like a quicker way, it's actually a sign
oh,
that
like work
um
smart, not hard,
yeah,
essentially.
something like that. It's like
Yeah.
sure you might be breaking the rules, but you're actually kind of developing these skills to work around any given situation, which is a
Yeah.
good thing because a lot of people would be like, they just submit to the rule and just play as they're supposed to. But you didn't.
Huh?
But you weren't like that though.
Thanks,
Being
man.
resourceful, yeah, being resourceful, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I guess, yeah, in again, I was never a perfect kid, especially in high school. And you know this, and
Of course.
again, I can say the same thing as you. But I remember, uh, I failed the subject, and I think you know about this.
Bro, all that
So I
comes
had
to
a
mind
subject for.
is the business management uh,
Oh,
scandal.
that's the one that. Oh my god, that was so bad. Oh jeez. But hey, that's something I actually owned up after because I actually felt bad because they were saying they're gonna fail everyone. I was like, no, I can't. Like everyone's gonna hate me because I think inside I know that they knew it was me. So I'm like,
Yeah.
you have two options, right? You stay quiet. Everyone gets a really messed up mark, and then they look at you and go, "Yeah, we know it's you." And so from now on, you got to be known as that guy that literally had the chance to make sure that no one else gets in trouble, and
Hmm.
just own up to your mistake. Or you can be that person that actually does own up to your mistake and go, you know what, I messed up. I'm sorry, that was me.
Yeah, despite
Um,
all that stuff, you still had your honor, which is I think that's what made you so unique and interesting. Because like you've got these character traits where, like, in a video game, it's like those RPG games where, like, you've got characters that have these really unique traits that really make them unique. That's kind of like how you are, bro. Like, you had all these things about you, but then to make it even more interesting, you'd have honor. You know what I mean? Like
it's like
what? Like that usually doesn't go in the mix, you know what I mean? But you did, and I guess that's what made you stand out.
I think it comes down to when you you start playing your life like a game, you kind of go. I don't know if you played the game Star Wars: The Old Republic, Knights of the
Yeah,
Old
yeah,
Republic,
I have it.
but when you do something there, if you say something bad,
Oh
you
yeah,
can always make it up by saying something the right thing after. So it's like you put you back in the gray area again instead of oh, you're going too much to the evil. Oh no, I'm
yeah,
gonna
like
try and
you,
do more good and try and go on the left side.
you're very gray. Yeah, like trying to maintain that.
Uh, But yeah, no, look again. It's like especially for those business management. Do you recall how that actually happened?
Man, I don't remember. I remember some shit was going down, and some people were dogging some people. No, I think
Nah, see,
someone
that was the first
I
one.
think
That was the
someone
first
opened someone
incident.
opened their mouth. I think, like, if that person had kept their mouth shut, then nothing would have happened. I
Yeah,
remember
no. So
something
that
like
was
that. Let's not give any names, just in case.
yeah, no, look. That was the second time actually. The first time, and
So
again,
I don't even know
I
there
am
was a second
saying what
time.
I am saying here. I'm saying because I know for a fact that I was in the wrong, and there's absolutely no way of looking at it, right? So the first one was there was in the men's toilet there was a small, what do you call it, where where you fix the toilet, and then right next to it there's a small closet where you kind of do all the maintenance stuff, right?
Hmm.
um so I went there and I thought, I'm not prepared for this test. I'm gonna go my piece of my
Cheat
paper,
sheet.
my cheat sheet, and I'm gonna put it right in that cabinet. um and then if I ever start wandering and start having trouble, then I can go back and have a look at it.
Because I say,
um
Miss, I gotta use the toilet. Miss, I gotta go to
yes,
the bathroom.
that's I would have said, right? But the
Yeah.
problem is that actually, because of the amount of times that I tried to find ways to write the cheat sheet and try to put it in some way hidden, I've actually ended up memorizing the damn thing. And so when I got to the business management test, and I remember we had a really nice teacher as well. I think that's the reason why.
Yeah, we did. I remember it
And
was
that's yeah,
was it Clark or something? No, what was his name?
yeah. I forgot her name.
No, it was a guy. That business management. It was
Oh yeah,
the
Trevor. Was it?
Trevor. It was a
Yeah,
Trevor. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
something like that. Yeah, it was
And like,
really cool
yeah, he
dude.
was like, he was really geeky, but he was really nice to me all the time, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that was the thing that stung most was like when someone actually kind of looks up to you and like expects you to do well, and
Yeah,
you
and
kind of
and you kind of
slap them with this and go, hey, you know what? I
backstab
actually
him.
don't. Yeah, I don't respect your class, so that's why I just put a cheat sheet. So
The
I think that was the main thing that kind of hit me the most was that, again, going back to this, I didn't cheat, but I've essentially, it's like preemptive murder. Like you haven't done anything, but because you've already planned it in your head and that you're gonna do it,
yeah.
you're essentially still guilty for the charge. So,
But
you
still,
know,
like, the fact that you even thought that shows how much character you have. Because only someone with character can make that kind of decision.
you mean the cheating part or the
No, like the cheating and then having that whole self monologue where, look, man, this teacher was really nice to me, they really believed in me, and I'm just gonna turn around and stab him in the back. You know what I mean? and
Yeah, I
then
mean, no, it's pretty
feeling
bad. Like if you
regret
think
as a
about it, right?
result, and then changing your decision afterwards. That
Yeah.
takes a lot of character. Not everyone can do that. Most people would have just gone with them like, yeah, fuck that cat, and just whatever. I just want to pass stuff that teacher. Who cares
Now,
about
look, I like
consequence
to
or
think that most of the
remorse?
people that I've been with, I've been speaking to every single day of my life has always kind of been have that nature in them. Like, regardless of where they stand, if they know what's right, they got to do what's right, then they're gonna do it.
But I see
I'm not too
that
worried about that.
it's interesting because I see a lot of that in myself as well, and I'm thinking now, like all the boys now. You reckon there was some kind of like natural subconscious magnet that drew us together, like even like for the way we are and the way we were. You
Yeah,
reckon?
definitely. Like ethics wise, like your ethics and
Like
my
not
ethics.
like not directly, but
Oh, of
somehow
course.
like in the background, just pulling us together because of the way we are.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes out when again the way you would act around me or to Adam or to absolutely anyone to Mara to all of that thing in itself. Like you don't realize it, but you make that connection without even knowing it. And
I think
and
so, yeah.
again, that could be that thing that you're saying that we don't know about. But
Because
um,
there were a few other guys that we knew, but like I don't even know if they're still alive to this day. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, that's
But like the ones that we do still hang around with, I guess
yeah,
there must have been that unique connection that kept us together.
yeah. I mean, again, we have gone through some things, like
Oh
all of
yeah,
us, especially us too, as well, in some
true.
things where probably should not be mentioned ever again. I mean, like it's not like all
Yeah,
these things. Just
too
you
many
like,
things, man.
yeah, and you look at it, and you look back to it, you kind of, well, was it so bad that that happened, or was it better that it happened? Like, is it?
Hmm.
Am I glad that we went through that, or you went through that? Or is it? Are we just kind of happy that we've kind of actually gone through that? We've gone through that moment where yeah we experienced something really bad during that time, but now we've actually evolved into something better. Like it kind of makes you as a person. So again, a lot of dramas in high school, a lot of things that a lot of conversations where I wish in some cases I did not say or I did say.
Of
But
course, of
yeah,
course.
regardless of where that is, looking back to it now, you kind of you learn how to deal with these things. You kind of get better at it. Like you become more empathic, blah, 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 empathic of things. You have more
Empathetic, yeah.
sympathy, empathetic, yeah, empathetic, more sympathy, ESL kids, sorry. But it's
Yeah.
like a lot of these things. It just comes in without us even thinking about it, because you've kind of been slowly trained in high school that you know like dealing with this is kind of became like, oh, that's piss easy. I dealt with that when I was a young kid that had no idea what the world was about.
Yeah, of
And that look, actually, out of everyone, you know that for a fact. You've again, not about you, it's supposed to be all about myself, but
course.
like
It's all about you today.
but, like, like, it's awesome that you kind of like for a fact you've been through quite a bit of things in your life that you will always have that personality of I will always try and understand you as a person regardless of what you're saying. And
Yeah,
that's you. Like that's essentially, literally, this is what it is. This is what shows it on this, for example, on this on this talk right now. This is it. This is you showing that characteristics that you have.
yeah,
Which
yeah.
is
I know what you mean, but I'm a whole different spectrum, bro. Let's not even get into me.
no,
Like,
we will have that one time. I'll definitely prepare my own questions for you
yeah,
as well. We have to go through the actual.
you can interview me, but
Exactly.
we're still got a little bit of time, but we're almost done. But just to before we do wrap it up, um, just any last things you'd like to say about yourself, who you are, and I guess just this whole relationship with me and all the other guys.
Um, I think if
Welcome to the stream
anything,
still. Welcome,
really,
welcome.
I've been away from absolutely everyone. Like as in, I haven't spoken to
Yeah,
a lot of
so
the
so
guys.
let's fast forward like all this, and at the moment you're working, you're an environmental.
Secret. Yep. I work for the state government. No, I'm joking.
No, like your degree you did environmental protection, right, at uni?
Environmental engineering, yeah, and
Yeah, so
science. Yeah.
you've got that background as well. So and like where you're working at the moment, I won't get into detail, is a place where you get basically look after people that are they might be throwing toxic waste in like in their backyard or something. So you basically just look after the environment and make sure everyone's upholding rules and regulations, right? Do you want to go on a bit more or?
Yeah, no, but I mean I think that's a pretty good summary of it. Is I essentially, if something is kind of can be improved, then we try to improve it.
Yeah, which
Industries
is
just
good. I
assess.
really like that. I really like that you're doing that.
Yeah, look again. This it kind of comes along that there's a whole heap of different issues why I ended up coming into this this thing. Like I think I was I like what I'm doing. I really love it, to be honest.
Yeah,
You
it's a
don't
great
really
thing that you're doing.
you don't come into things going, I'm gonna be this specific job. I mean, like no one goes in, I'm gonna be an accountant for this for this much,
Well, you
and
kind
not
of
that, sorry, not that I'm shitting on
because you were
accounting, sorry.
studying on environmental protection though, so it kind of makes sense that you ended up here.
Oh yeah, of course. I
Oh,
think
was
so. That's
that
that's right.
was that because for me it would have been a bit of a surprise because you were someone who was into basketball, into gaming, and then when you said you were studying environmental protection, it was kind of a bit of a like it was surprising to me. Like I wouldn't have expected that from you. Was there something that you had that we didn't know about that made you want to study that?
Um,
Because it came off a surprise to me. You know what I mean? Like I thought
yeah.
you would just end up like like the most generic courses that most people do.
I mean that's true. I mean that to be honest, I was thinking about that. Like,
Like what made you think? Like what made you think? I want to do this.
yeah.
Was there
Uh,
anything specific?
Look, I'd love to say yes, but no, there isn't. It always kind of, again, people come, and I think this is a good learning for high school is that they like doing this to people. Like they like making you go, you're 18 now, go to uni, think about exactly what you want to do.
Oh yeah,
Then
yeah.
you're an 18-year-old, you got out of life, right? And what they want you to do next is plan for the next 3 or 4 years of your life, studying something that you probably have absolutely no idea about what you're going to end up having. What kind of job you're going to get.
Hmm.
Thankfully, for my scenario, um, I actually enjoyed my uni time. It wasn't. It was actually quite good because it turns out that the course that I was doing was, I ended up being on the field a lot, doing
Hmm.
sampling. Um, like a lot of these things happens not because I aimed it to happen like that. It literally just happened.
Yeah.
And I think over time that's kind of I guess that's kind of like the learning that I kind of want to pass on to, like, if I was a dad in the future, like, you can't really find your passion until you get to a point and tried it, like and like you can literally try and be safe and do something that you think is going to be completely fine, you're going to be happy about. But if you start putting yourself in a position where, oh, you know what, I don't know, I'm just gonna be an office worker for the next 5, 6 years of my life, make a lot of money, and then enjoy my life when I can afford everything that I have.
Hmm.
Like, you've kind of given up your happiness towards that specific goal as opposed to the actual journey itself.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying that in a sense of, oh, I'm judging people that's doing that. Definitely
No, no.
not.
Everyone's got their own motivations,
Exactly
hopes,
right. And look,
where they want to
it's at the
be.
end of the day, everyone's got their own timeline, and
It's
that's
unique to
that's the
them.
most important thing that people gotta look at, because especially with social media now and how much everyone can see what everyone else is doing without actually knowing the background of that. You can see a whole heap of people doing this, you know, going to Greece to party, doing this or doing that. Like, you start people start becoming more envious about it as opposed to trying to actually live within their means and enjoy what it is that they have, as opposed to saying that, oh, if I have that specific, then I'm definitely going to be happy.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be so tough if you start putting yourself in someone else's
Of
shoes without
course.
even knowing how they're
Hundred
doing it,
percent, bro. That's what we get taught as artists as well. Like whether you're an actor or a singer or anywhere in the arts field, they say never compare yourself with that other performer because you're
Yeah,
just bringing yourself down. You're just putting all this weight, like unnecessary weight on you. Like
yeah.
you are who you are. You're unique. Like you're the only one of you, literally in the whole world, unless you've got a twin. Like
Yeah.
you're the only one of you. You know that you're special in your own way, and just amplify that. Yeah, because
That's really it.
and when you think about it too, like that person is probably envious of you. That person you're envious of is probably envious of you.
Yeah,
Everyone's always gonna want something. You're always gonna have something better than someone else, but
yeah,
you're always not gonna be as good as someone else in some area. That's just
yeah,
life. It's just nature. So you should always just appreciate who you are and work with what you got because
yeah.
you have your specialties because you have something that other person doesn't have. It could be anything from the smallest thing to the most obvious thing.
Yeah. And again, be the person that you are. Like, that's the best person that you can be anyway.
Yes.
you can't start living the life of someone else and not really thinking
100%.
that it's somehow gonna be you're somehow gonna be so much better because you're trying to be this specific person. But at the end of the day, like I like you as you are, Ash. You know what I mean? Like I love you as the
Likewise.
way you are. You don't go fuck Ash. No, man. If you had a tiny bit more longer arms or if you had a bit more longer hair, I like you better. No, like regardless of the faults or the good things or the bad things, like you know, an opinionated person is better than someone that has no opinion at all.
Of course.
It's
Yeah.
that's all I say. It's you're
Opinionated,
not gonna be
but
finding someone that's perfect.
yeah.
It's yeah,
I
yeah,
know what you mean, yeah. Like, you still gotta be a bit respectful. You can't just shit on people.
yeah. Of
Like,
course.
and we'll all, yeah. We'll all have something to say about ourselves anyways. Like, we'll always say, oh man, I wish I was like this. I wish I was like that. I wish
Yeah,
my hair was this color. I wish my eye was this color. Yeah, like, whatever, you know what I mean? I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that. Like, we're always gonna be self-critical of ourselves anyways, regardless
yeah.
of whether if other people are.
No, that's look, and nothing's wrong with that. It's there's always there's a reason why as humans we're able to think that way is because hey, evolutionary wise, again, it might be different opinions, but like
Yeah.
is in it's the way that's made it is because so that you can actually better yourself. They don't put that just so that you can feel envious of someone. It's like you kind of try to be better. Okay, you go, okay, well, someone's doing this or someone's doing that. How can I achieve something very similar in a sense?
Hmm.
Not necessarily that, but how can I make myself happy? In what sense would make me happy? If someone is really, enjoying, showing that their life is a $300,000 yacht, living in, living in a 200,000 castle, it's you can't put yourself there. It's just gonna make you sad, and knowing full well that these people maybe not even living that entire life,
Hmm.
truthfully. But I guess always kind of just live the way you kind of, where you want to be. Like if you think that helping the environment's making you happy, great. If you think that bringing joy to people's lives is making you happy, great. Do that. Keep doing that. If plants are making you happy, then that's your calling.
Yeah.
Enjoy that. Put your pressure in that. Because I don't like Jim Carrey, but I think he summarized it very well. Like,
I
if
love
you
Jim
can
Carrey.
fail at something that you don't like, might as well try something that you really do.
Yeah. The whole failing thing, that's another thing as well. But man, we can talk about this for another whole 3 hours. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
that's
But
another 3 hours.
we got off topic, but at the same time, we didn't get off topic because this is actually the kind of person you are, and this was
Oh,
about
thanks, man.
you. Like, you are someone who's a deep thinker, very very conscious of himself and the world around him, and just all these things. We have these conversations every day. True.
Yeah,
Like,
no, see, that's
we
exactly right.
literally don't even need to, like, we'll just, like, before, like, while we're playing Dota, we'll just talk about something random, deep, like, that's
Yeah, that's
deep
it.
and philosophical, and about anything and everything. And that's the kind of person you are, and that's why we love you.
Ah, thanks, man. Yeah, it's always good to know that. Obviously you appreciate it as well. So
Of course,
thank you all
100,
for that.
because you can't have these conversations with a lot of people. Man, I can't even have this kind of conversation with probably members of my own family, like my own flesh and blood. You know what I mean? I don't know, maybe if you can, whether you have an uncle or a cousin where you can actually sit down and have a deep intellectual conversation, but I don't know, I can't. Maybe it just might be my family. And it's the same way with a lot of the other guys as well. So it's a
I mean, look,
really unique
yeah,
relationship to have, I feel like, because you can't just talk about this stuff with anybody, because most people won't understand you, and most others won't even care, or they won't be at the
yeah.
capacity to care.
Nah, that's and I agree upon it. Again, I'm gonna be guilty of that at one point in time in my life for sure. Having that idea that coming across as I don't care about something. Um, but again, at the end of the day, really, it's really good to kind of be able to um, really talk to someone, and obviously, like I said, having myself and yourself to actually talk about these things,
Hmm.
because you don't realize, so yes, we think we're just bouncing ideas, but really over time, you've kind of something that like this comes up again, you kind of realize, shit, that's what we were just talking about this, and now we kind of have this, we have the left side and the right side of both topics,
Hmm.
um so yeah, no, look, I really 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 love the chat, Ash.
Oh, no, thank you,
um
man. Thank you very much for joining. I know you were a bit hesitant before because you didn't want to get into those other kind of nastier topics, but I do appreciate you coming on.
thank you. No, nasty topics are good, but I think I always prefer to
It's just
having it
a bit
having that like off
more,
topic in some
a
senses.
bit more. What's the word? I think you'd like it if it was a bit more regulated, maybe. word I want to say. Like
Yeah, okay,
where we
that
just
one.
start throwing out like random bullshit, spreading bullshit. You don't like that, I know that, which is great. But yeah,
Yeah, no,
man.
yeah. That's I guess yeah. In some cases, that can be things can be like that. But again, it always kind of depends also on the person that's saying it. Because you kind of still have to hear people out, and I am guilty again for that. Sometimes I will almost craft a response before I've even completely heard what they're saying, and
Yeah,
you know,
I'm a bit like
kind of
that too.
improvement. Yeah.
I think it's a bit of the OCD. It's like you kind of cut people off before they get to finish. I've been working on that heaps. Like we just can't hold yourself. Like you just like I just want to say my thing. You just cut off and you're like, and then you feel bad and then you apologize. I've
Yeah.
been a lot more conscious of it, but I used to be really bad with that. Like someone would say something, and then 2 words into the sentence, I'll have already formed that sentence in my mind, and I just got to get it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it's like,
exactly.
no, shut
Like you
up.
think,
Just let him
oh
finish. Just
man,
shut up.
exactly. It's
Yeah,
like, oh man, I've got this really, really long sentence that's gonna burn you the moment I finish saying it. And then
yeah,
you realize they're doing the exact same thing when you finish saying I'm gonna say the exact same thing that you're not gonna even realize. And then we're just gonna go around and not even argue. We're just seriously gonna say our points, and then just at the end we're just gonna go, fuck. That's
yeah.
it.
Anyways, bro, thanks again, man. I appreciate you jumping
Uh,
on.
Thank you.
Um,
Shout out to my girl over there.
is she watching? Is this watching?
I don't know. She probably is.
Oh, she might be. If she's hello, this.
Yeah.
Um, I'll meet you. I'll meet you in the other channel, bro.
All right. Take care.
Thanks again, bro. Love you.
Love you too, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up today's episode of Catching Up with the Spruut with my one and only Pinoy Filipino friend, Rojan.